Y'all? Welcome back to Life of a Rich Girl, where we are here talking everything rich in mind, body, spirit, relationships, and wealth. We are your personal development coaches. I'm Carla Beatles.
Jalon Smart.
Takesha Johnson.
Hey, and if this is your first time here, we want to say welcome to our channel and welcome to this podcast. We're so excited to chat with you today about all the things rich in mind. That's what we're going to talk about today, being rich in mind. And so if this is your first time here, these are my girlfriends. We talk and we just get in all the conversation about the stuff that helps us keep growing in our lives. And we hope that something that we share will help you to keep growing in your life as well. Yeah. And so today we are talking about rich in mind.
Yep.
And our topic for today is I am free. So I just, throw out these random topics sometimes and we just get to conversating about this because this is what we have to do at a certain age in our lives, right? We have to continue to push each other to grow a little bit more each and every day. And so, ladies, I want to talk about freedom today and what it means to really be free. And so before I jump too deep into some of my thoughts, I just want to hear what's your thoughts on what does it mean to be free? What is it to be truly free?
I think for me, it means just to be able to accept where I am in this space in my life and to just move in, is liquidity a word?
Yeah.
Yes. Move that freely in just who I am, accepting where God has me right now in this time, in this space, and no restrictions, just being free in this space.
I like it.
That's good.
I like it. Freedom to move around, do what you want to do.
And accepting me right now where I am in this space.
Yeah.
So the phases of freedom. Yeah.
I think that there can be phases to it.
Yeah. My mind went into all the different aspects of life. Like, I have a hard time with that. This is it, right? I always want to look at all the different things. And I feel like freedom looks differently for me right now because I'm doing a lot of self-exploration and self-discovery. So I guess kind of freeing myself from what other people imposed on me or what I think other people think. Like that's where I feel like my freedom is right now and kind of centering back to who I am and who I believe myself to be. So freedom for me is, I guess, self-awareness.
Okay.
Yeah.
In a different kind of way.
I think that freedom at this, juncture in life is about self-awareness. And I think one of the things you said is accepting it, like accepting where you are, accepting who you are, accepting, not beating yourself up for whatever you did right, whatever you did wrong. Right. And so I think sometimes we can get in either phase of that where some people, they just drinking all their own Kool-Aid, as they used to say, you didn't drink too much of your own Kool-Aid. Right. And so then they just on such this high horse about themselves. And I don't know that they have that true freedom because we've seen it where we would say, man, you've done so well. Why would you turn around and commit suicide? We've seen that so much. And then you have those people who you look at them and it looks like their marriage is perfect. And then we see them in the news and we're like, oh my gosh, how? So I think sometimes that freedom, it has to come from the self-awareness. It has to come from accepting, more of who you are and where you are. So I think that both of those definitions are really so good. One of the words that stand out to me with freedom is responsibility. Is responsibility. There's a huge responsibility that comes with freedom.
Yeah.
So I think about like our phones or these microphones or the cameras. There's so many things that these things can do. They have a lot of uses, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of power.
Yeah,
right?
Good.
So many tools that we have.
That
They have a lot of power. But sometimes we don't take the responsibility. We don't accept all the power that we have. Right. So we don't use the freedom. We don't use it freely. And so even though we have this freedom, we don't really use it fully. And so we're still looking for somebody else to tell us, yes, you can. We're still waiting for somebody else to pick us. And so I think that the responsibility lies within ourselves.
Absolutely.
To be able to do the things, to be able to get us outside of the norm, to be able to take us into uncharted territory.
Yeah.
Because we hear it all the time. possibilities are endless.
Right.
It's a good cliche, but the possibilities really are endless.
Right.
Possibilities really are endless.
But even within that freedom and self-awareness, not abusing it, you know, like, do you get to a point where, or not you, but you know, could someone get to the point of being so free that they're using freedom as an abuse type situation? Like, you're so free that now you're selfish. Now you're, you know, coming at people from in a way that you really shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, don't get so free that where you lose sight of everyone around you and what, you know, the freedom that God has given you. What should you be using that freedom for? Have you got outside of that? Now you just, like you say, on your high horse, thinking so highly of yourself that you're missing the bigger picture of what that freedom is really for. So,
yeah, I think that comes with just having compassion and knowing when to and when not to. Even with having that freedom, you have to have a level of compassion. So, and I do think that the freedom changes throughout our lives because you are in different phases of your life. With age comes change. I think that there is sometimes a selfishness in being free.
Yes.
You may have to go through that stage of being selfish and understand who you are so that you can accept that freedom when it comes, you know. Being in a space of not taking care of everybody else and just getting in touch with yourself so that when that, I feel like when you're in that space and you're getting in touch with who you are, when freedom comes, the compassion will be there because you've done that soul searching.
Yeah,
You put in the work to understand who you are so that freedom won't take you to that place, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if people are in a space where they're not feeling free, right? So what are some of those places do we see it most often where, you know, women are not feeling or operating from a space of freedom that we should, you know, maybe we need to help some people be a little more free in these spaces?
That's a good question.
It is. I feel like it's most common in workplace. It could be within your own four walls of your home, you know, because you take on roles. And I feel like a lot of time women, whether it's work or home, once we take on a role to a certain extent, you become that role, you know, so you don't have freedom, or you feel as though you don't have freedom to move and do other things because I'm a mom. I can't do this because I'm a mom, or I can't do this because I'm someone's wife. Well, no, not really, you know? So I think that, for me, the main two that come to mind is workplace and home.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel the same. I think, home for sure. Even in family.
Yeah.
I feel like there is
Let's talk about that.
expectations limit your freedom sometimes because of what
you're trying to
people
move
expect
within
of
there.
you.
Yeah, that's good.
And that is just family in general, not just necessarily husband, not just necessarily kids, especially when you have family members that are in and out kind of sort of, so they kind of see you from afar, so they have an expectation that may not that's not even something that you're doing. It may not even be who you are. It's just maybe if they're watching you on social media, they see what's portrayed on social media, so they have this expectation of you.
You look free. And you look
at her on her high horse.
Right.
Your high horse free.
So I just think that really family is really a big part of a place where women have a lack of freedom, I think.
Yeah.
I think
so what do we do in those spaces? How do we begin to come out of this space feeling like I'm in bondage, right? Feeling like I'm in bondage in a space where I should be free? Because one of the things we talk about a lot is if you can't be yourself at home, if you don't feel good at home, where can you feel good? If I don't feel good with the people that's in my circle, that's closest to me, where can I feel free?
You know, I ain't got good sense because automatically I was like, if you can't go to Bella Noche. Remember when that was going around? If you can't go here. But yeah, like for real, if you can't feel free in what's supposed to be your safe haven, like
how do you come out of this? How?
So, it's funny. I think when it's in your four walls and it's home, you begin to search for places that you do find that
outside.
freedom.
Yeah.
So, even if that's finding organizations that you can be a part of that allow you to be who you are genuinely.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of the times that's what women, because we are very active in organizations.
Yeah.
There's, one woman is in 10 different organizations, So I feel like that may be a place or a thing that women do to get that freedom that they're not getting when they feel like they're at home or being able to express who they really are. Because at home, your mom, your wife, but when you're with the rich girls, you're a rich girl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you can just express that side of yourself. So I think that might be something that women do.
Connecting with other organizations,
finding things outside.
Yeah. Sometimes I think we get lost in our careers. I think that we get lost in our building the business and things like that. And so I think you said earlier, Keisha, becoming a mom and being a mom, and we get lost in these things. And so what once was a part of our freedom and free to express ourselves, it becomes sort of like bondage because of the expectations. But I think to go back to what you said earlier, Keisha, about the self-awareness, right? And being able to just really understand who you are as a woman. What does freedom look and feel like for you? Possibilities really are endless. Like if I could take down all the walls, because just because I'm busy being a mom, it doesn't mean I'm not free. If I feel free, because I'm busy building my business or building my career, as long as I'm moving freely in that space for me. So when I think about freedom, I think about my mind has to be decluttered, right? Because if my mind is cluttered up, this is where my freedom is all messed up now.
Yeah.
And so if I'm taking responsibility for myself and I have a clear mind, my mind's not all jumbled up. I'm not having all these mixed emotions about everything that I do. Right. And so everywhere I go, I'm wondering, am I accepted? Am I not accepted? Am I doing enough? Am I not doing enough? If you don't feel free in your mind, I think that's what brings about these other feelings when you go into these other spaces, because here you are trying so hard to prove something when you have nothing to prove. If you're doing what you love, if you're in a space where you really want to be, operate freely, move around. Right. And so I think that's the beauty of it all, is that I can be doing 10 different things, to your point. But if it's the things that I'm choosing to do, if it's causing me to have just these feelings of joy and bringing, increasing my energy, and I'm getting to bring my full self into spaces that I'm in, and I don't feel forced. I don't feel like I'm dragging. I don't feel sick every morning when I feel like I got to go to work. Oh my God. If that's you, listen, if you wake up every day and you feel like, why am I going to this job? Please start looking for another one. Do some soul searching. You free. You can go wherever you want to go. Those people do not have you in bondage. You can go anywhere you want to go. You're brilliant. You're intelligent. You have more than enough skills to do something different.
Anyway, let's be clear. You're overqualified.
That part. Sis, treat yourself to something different. Okay. So yes, it's going to take a little effort on your part, but start as soon as you hear this message. You can click me off. I'm even turn me off. Okay. Go ahead and start looking right now. Get your resume together, start building that business, whatever you want to do. I don't care what it is, but if you dragging every day to go into a job, and you getting sick and making yourself feel like, oh my God, for a paycheck, sis, switch up, get yourself free. Okay. Because those people do not have you in bondage. Stop complaining about them people job. Okay. Leave them people alone and go do something that you want to do. That's going to give you some sense of freedom. All right. So that's side note. Back to what we were saying. Back to our regular program.
And we're back.
Anyway, but yeah, I just think that if we're doing those things and our mind is truly clear and we take responsibility for that, because that's what that is, even with the job, right? It's just taking responsibility for my life and for where I am, for what I desire to do, where I want to be. Because that's what we're all striving for, to be more, to do more, to have more of something, right? Or to be more of something, right? Yeah. And so that's what freedom feels like to me.
Yeah, that sums it up.
I love it. Yeah. So freedom is really a journey. It's not, I don't think it's anything static that we are in. No. Freedom is a continual journey. It's working on it, ladies. It's working on you. It's self-discovery, and it's doing it over and over and over again.
And remembering that it looks different from phase to phase,
Yeah.
cycle to cycle. So you might reach freedom and feel great.
Yeah.
And then feel like, oh, I need a change. Well, shift that change.
That's it.
Shift it.
Shift
that job, sis.
Get it. Job. All right. So remember, you're on a journey to freedom. I'm free. Are you free?
Yes.
Are you free?
Free.
We are. It's my time for my solo. No solo.
Oh, okay.
No solo.
All right. Well, I'm free.
All right. Solos today, girl. Okay.
No solos for her.
We do.
She can't sing, by the way. But anyway, we will not put you in jeopardy in that thing. Okay. No. Save their ears.
Okay.
Anyway, listen, we hope that you will take the time to really do some soul searching and get free, finding out what freedom is for you on your journey to self-discovery so that you can live rich in mind. Until next time, remember to subscribe, like, and share this with your friends, and we'll see you on the next episode.